Welcome. My name is Thomas Ledford. I'm here to share in this video some growing pains to starting my tax business. I've been in this industry for the last 18 years, the past 12 as a business owner. And so I specialize in helping people start their own tax business who may be already in this industry. Also have a partnership program that people can connect with me and partner with me who want to start their own tax business, who may not want to do it all on their own, but have someone seasoned in this industry who they can start and connect with and start their own tax business where they can be guided through a systematic strategy of doing business in this industry that's going to save them a lot of time and trouble of trying to figure it out on their own. And so that's what I bring to the table for people who work with me is that I give you all my experience and training and insight that's going to help you to start your own tax business, going to help you to avoid some of the things that come about by being in this business from a real world standpoint is what I bring to the table. And so, the growing pains of starting my tax business are the natural things that you experience just by trying to be in business in the first place. And it's just happened to be the tax business for me. But, we all experience growing pains of being in business. And it's just a matter of what those may be for you may vary based on what they were for me. And so I'm just grateful to be in this industry. I'm grateful to still be around helping individuals with their tax preparation, their tax planning, tax resolution, and things of that nature. But I'm going off into a different direction in 2020 when it comes to working with people and helping with people. I'm specializing in working with self-employed and small business owners uh, with my services that I provide, opposed to the consumer type individuals moving to a different category. And so going to 2020, my marketing and advertising strategies were geared towards self-employed and small business owners. But if I pick up some clients who don't fall in that category, yes, I will work with them. I will do business with them. But my marketing message and my advertising message will be geared towards self-employed and small business owners going forward in 2020. So some of the growing pains to growing your business, starts out from the fact that being new to business and not knowing what's going to happen, having real world situations come about, and being able to implement some protocols and strategies that's going to help you to alleviate the pain of that is part of the experience of growing your business by learning as you go through some of those growing pains. And one of the examples I use a lot is how we uh, used to always have people who had direct deposit information who would give us their information, and we had issues with them uh, not receiving a refund or the route number didn't match because we assumed that the state they opened the account was in the same state where we were doing taxes. Was not to be the case. A lot of times they were had their accounts open in Indiana or Michigan or Wisconsin or New York or wherever they may have been at the time, but we assumed that their accounts were open in Illinois, which they wasn't. Because I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Chicago, and so I'm in a big city where we have so many people that come through our doors where we just made the mistake of assuming that the account information was opened up in here in the state of Illinois, which it wasn't. And so we, through that episode of going through those issues with people tax refunds, we had to start implementing a protocol where everybody who was doing direct deposit had to either bring in a voided check with their name on it or a bank statement with their name on it showing you had ownership of this account before we would process the return. And so that's one of the things that you learn when you're in business that come about that may not happen when you first got started. And so that's one of the things we had to implement. It's the things that I learned in my preparation stages of getting started, where I worked for 6 years for a company, and I saw a lot of things going on that I didn't like. That I said once I get my own business started, that these things wouldn't happen inside my business that I see happening inside of this business. And so that experience of working for a company for 6 years and seeing all the things that you didn't like, and saying to yourself, hey, once I get my tax business up and running, these things won't happen here. And I made it my business to make sure they didn't happen here. And so the most common thing we would see is we would see uh, a man and a woman who both share the same children, trying to file the same children on a tax return. And then a lot of times the guys will come in before the young ladies file the kids on their tax return, get the money and gone. By the time she come in, the child has already been filed. So now she can file a return electronically. She has to mail it in, which takes more time to mail it in and process, on top of the fact that now they have to send him a letter because they already paid out a return for the two kids that she now just submitted a paper return for. So we'll start an investigation on how that situation came about. And so one of the things I implemented when I started my tax business was I made sure that, especially for guys who were coming in claiming children, that they had to come in with a birth certificate, social security card, valid ID for themselves, and some other documentation that showed proof of residency and things of that nature, to make sure that they was in good standards with being able to had a permission from the mom to be able to file a child on the tax return. So that kind of alleviated the things that I experienced working for another company who didn't have those protocols in place. And so that's one of the things I implemented inside my tax business based on what I saw, based on experience of working for another tax company. So that's part of, the growing pains of growing a tax business, is that you experience certain things that's going on working for another company. And then you aware to the point where, hey, you say when you start your own tax business, those things are not going to happen there. And so I made sure that didn't happen. Another thing that happened in the tax business company I work with, when they caught fraud, they didn't necessarily stop it and send them out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they would process the return anyway, which just made no sense to me. So when it comes to me starting my own tax business and catching people with bogus W-2s and paperwork, we called them out on them and we put them on out the door and told them we're going to write their business, because there's no place for that type of behavior here. And so everybody has their own protocol and procedures in place when it comes to meeting certain type of situations. And so that's another thing I learned by working for another company that didn't have those things in place that I said wouldn't happen with my own company. So those are things that I've learned from working for another company that allowed me to implement some protocols inside my business that I said I won't let happen here. And so, there's the things about starting and growing a company. The thing about me getting started was, yeah, I provide a service and I have the skill sets to provide tax preparation, but it's more to starting a business and growing a business than having the skill sets to perform the service. You must be able to fully run a business in the way it need to be ran, from the front end to the back end, that a lot of times we don't possess. Even though I'm in the tax preparation business, that don't necessarily mean I have the skills and the knowledge to effectively run a business in the way I should. And that's something you have to grow into. And some people, like myself, who started self-employed one-man show, didn't have the resources / the money to hire people out the gate to take care of certain tasks. So I had to do all things. And so that's generally the case when you're working for yourself as a self-employed individual, small business owner. A lot of times, a lot of things that need to be done, you tend to try to do them all yourself because you don't have the money / resources to hire outside people to make certain things happen inside your business. But those are some things we have to experience and that we hopefully get through unscathed, where we don't tarnish our reputation and our brand as far as being in business, that allows us to keep staying in business and to keep moving and thriving and going forward. So me being in this industry for the 18 years I have, the last 12 as a business owner, it's been a blessing to me because it's allowed me to get time freedom along with financial freedom in my life. And time freedom and financial freedom is not necessarily based on having 6-7 figure income. It's based on being able to make the type of money you can live off of that's going to allow you to come and go when you get ready, which is the real deal. People sell you on the dream of making 6 figures, 7 figures incomes. But if you can learn what you can live off of, and you can learn on what it's going to take for you to be happy inside your business when it comes to being able to have the time freedom to get up and move around and do the things you want to do, and make enough money to go on vacations, and make enough money to make sure your kids are well provided for, make enough money to make sure you got a retirement plan put away, make sure you got a college fund put up for your children, make sure you got an emergency fund put up for your children. As long as you got these key components implemented inside your life, that's going to help it be better. That's what it's really all about. Don't get caught up on the dream of making multiple 6 figure or 7 figure income inside your business, when for a lot of us, we'll never get to that point. but just being able to be happy with making a sufficient income, which allows me to get up when I get ready. It allows me to go when I want to go. Allows me to do some things that I can't do working for a company. I can't move around and do the type of things I want to do if I work for a company. And so that's the downside that working for a business, because you can't do what you want to do with your time once you've committed yourself to working for a company. But when we have my own tax business, I can get up whenever I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? If I decide I'm not going to work at all today, I just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And that's the freedom that you have when you have your own business in general, but especially a tax business, which is the whole purpose of this video and this channel is the tax preparation industry. And so the freedom I have to go traveling and to help other people and to be a blessing in other people's lives is really the big picture that's important for me. And this is just a vehicle that I use to help me to get that done. It's by having a business model that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about, that allows me to do those things. So if you looking to start your tax business and you haven't done your research yet, but you've been in this industry for a while and you're confident in yourself and your skills, and you want to eventually get started, and you maybe want some insight on what that's going to take and what that's going to look like without you going through all the mundane issues of joining Facebook groups and forums and asking all these different questions, that you still got to make a decision on your own on what you're going to do with the information once they give it to you, is the backwards way to go. We live in a world of information. The internet has brought information close to us. We can basically skip going to the library now. As long as you got a high-speed connection and a device, you can research and look up anything you need to look up in the world of information, and do what you need to do with it. My question to you is, are you like me, where you're going to do your own research and due diligence and set up your own tax business by yourself and on your own, and go through the learning pains of starting it and growing it and taking it where you want to go? Or are you that person who's smart enough to see that, hey, we're in a different time now where we got people that's out here who offer a service that allows us to connect with them, where we can fast track our success by getting started in this industry without doing it by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you see it the way I'm trying to explain it to you, where, hey, you can do it the way I did it 18 years ago, where I started by myself, I did my own research, I set up my own business, I did all these things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still here today, but I don't regret my journey, but I'm here to share with you that is another path to go, where you don't have to go the slow scenic route. The slow scenic route is when you try to do all this by yourself, which is fine. I'm not putting you down for that. But if you want to fast track your success by being in this tax business industry, then connect with someone who has the experience, the training, the insight, the knowledge, the know-how to make it happen, and see if y'all are a good fit for one another and be able to fast track your success to get to where you want to go. When I work with people, I ask them what their goals and dreams are. You know what I'm saying? Because based on what your goals and dreams are, then I'm going to call you out on them and ask you, hey, you said you want to do this. Say you want to do that. You say you want to travel more. You say you want more freedom to spend with your family and your kids and be more hands-on. These are the things you told me when we sat down and we talked. So your footwork and your actions need to line up with that. You know what I'm saying? And so those are some of the things that I had to find out about when I work with people. So when they're not doing what they need to do, I can keep reminding them, hey, your goals and dreams you claim you said you had for you and your family, you falling asleep on them. You need to step it up a bit and be more committed and more focused to that, and to make it happen, because there's no one who could stop you from being successful in what you say you want to do but you. So I'm just grateful to be in this industry as long as I have, and the things I've learned on my own, the things I went through and being in this business for the last 18 years, the last 12 business owners, as far as being audited and having the IRS come out and look at my books and my records and all those things. Those are learning experiences that I can share with other people. Those are learning experiences that I can learn from, where it won't happen again. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things we go through are learning experiences, but if you don't learn them from them, you tend to repeat them over and over again. So the learning experiences that I've learned by being in this industry, the learning experience that I learned by being in business in general, the learning experience that I've learned by being in this world and living, that I bring collectively to the table, when I work with people is what I bring. I bring more than just tax preparation skills to the table when I work with people on helping them start their own tax business. And I help people fast track their success because a lot of times they don't know, hey, there's other ways of making money indirectly in this industry other than tax preparation fees. You know what I'm saying? So you get all my wealth of knowledge and insight and know-how when it comes to generating income inside this tax preparation industry that's not directly tied to tax preparation fees. And so that information alone is priceless. That information alone helps you to fast track your success if you're willing to take action, implement them, and get started doing that. One of the biggest things we have a problem with is that we may be passionate about several things and we try to implement them all and find out we don't make any success in any of them. And so you got to find out what you really want to do when it comes to starting a business. Start that, stick with it, get good at it, become successful with it, and then if it's something else you say you want to do, add that to your portfolio of other streams of income to do when it comes to starting a business. For me, this is my primary money making business, which is tax preparation, along with helping people start their own tax business, along with other things related to the tax preparation industry indirectly, like bookkeeping, a basic payroll, helping self-employed and small business owners get their business credentials set up. Because in my experience, I run across so many people who claim to be in business, but the federal, the state, and local government don't know you exist. So you don't have a business. You just hustling. And so you want to separate yourself from people who hustling, but call themselves as a business by actually having a business that's in paper, that's on paper in black and white, where the federal government know about you, the state government know about you, the local government know about you. And that's the foundational piece of getting started. And then doing some other things that's going to cause people to know you're serious about what you do for providing service or not is important as well. So people look at you, people check you out, people not going to necessarily run to do business with you right away. They just want to make sure you're serious about what you say you're serious about to see if you're going to be around here long enough. So when they get ready to do business with you, you still here to do business with. So I'm just grateful for this business. I'm just grateful for this life I live. I'm grateful to be able to help people in all areas of their lives to get started because I call people to think about what they say is important to them and call them out and hold them accountable to making sure they get that done. So in 2020, I'm grateful to be adding another piece of the puzzle to what I do by adding some more products and service that's going to complement my tax preparation business and my tax preparation direction. And so I'm headed in a direction where now my clients and future clients will also have tax preparation services, bookkeeping services, payroll services, help them if they don't have a retirement plan put together, help them to protect their income, help them to become debt free. So I have a game plan and products and services along with tax preparation all put together now for 2020 that's going to help them to have a better way of life positioned to them that they can implement and use to help them to live a better way of life that I didn't have before. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about being able to let my clients know, hey, that I got some products that can help protect your income. And I got, people, my people, for the most part, we have a hard time understanding the value of getting income protection, which is simply life insurance. Unfortunately, if you're the breadwinner, you got a couple of kids, and you may be married or not, and they count on you to take care of the family, and you prematurely die, then number one, they lost you. That's devastating. Number two, the finance you brought through the household is gone, and so now they destitute and basically homeless because the money that you provided for the family is gone because you're gone, and you had a way of protecting the family with income protection / life insurance, but you didn't see the value of putting it in place. And so now when our people pass away, we have to ante up, we got to go to FundMe, we got to go on Facebook and do these different accounts to get people buried when it shouldn't be that way. You have to face the fact that we all gonna die. We just don't know when. We got to decide, hey, we got to be more mature enough and realistic enough to have some plans of action in place that's gonna help protect our family. So if something happened to us, they won't be so devastated. So that's the new products and services that I'm implementing in 2020, along with my tax preparation business. That's going to make what I do that more valuable to the families. That's geared to help them overall in the long run, which I'm grateful for. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notification. So again, every time I go live or do upload, you'll be notified. And I check you on my next video.